I think it's time to have a conversation. And this one, I don't think we need too many fancy graphics or extra statistics or whatever. I think we just gotta go off of the vibes. Because I was having a conversation with a bunch of friends earlier in the month, before the Vancouver Canucks preseason began. And the conversation was centered around Vancouver Canucks defending. You know, like one does whenever you're playing EA Sports, EA SHL with the buds, or when you're just chilling out, having a drink, something like that. You just talk about hockey and you ask questions. You ask who's better, you ask who makes the team. And our conversation that day was whether or not certain players would make the Canucks blue line for the season. And it was easy to say, all right, well, you've got 4 guarantees: Hughes, Hronek, Myers, Marcus Pettersson, right? But then you got 2 spots left and a roster spot in the press box. And you've essentially got 4 guys who are capable of taking it. 5 if you want to count Kirill Kudryavtsev. But disregard Kudryavtsev for a minute, you've got Derek Forbort, Tom Willander, Elias Pettersson, and Victor Mancini as the potential 4 to fill out the last 2 spots on the roster. And I had a bunch of friends tell me, like 2 weeks ago, yeah, no, Mancini's not making the team. He's going to be in Abbotsford the whole time. That's the plan for this dude. They want to have him there, Abbotsford player, he'll step up, he'll develop, and then there's room for Pierre-Olivier Joseph to be a 7th D, chilling in the press box, while Forbort and Elias Pettersson get minutes, and Tom Willander probably goes down to the AHL too. But here's the thing about that. Based off of the way the preseason has gone, and based off of how the Vancouver Canucks have sort of talked about their prospect situation and their defense situation, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Derek Forbort, for example, were to not make the opening night roster. If a guy like Pierre-Olivier Joseph were to instead be tossed into just the press box and doomed to not playing anything. If a guy like Victor Mancini ended up making the team. Last year, we saw Elias Pettersson and Mancini together. They're pretty good. And this year, while we have yet to see DPD suit up and have a huge, widely significant impact, we have seen Mancini and Willander battle it out, both showcasing their underrated and I'd say maybe even surprising level of talent at this level. Maybe surprising for one, unsurprising for the other. And now the question has really started to become, does Victor Mancini make this team? Does Tom Willander make the team? If you had to choose one, who would you choose? And do you have the option of choosing both? Because just a few weeks ago I had a bunch of folks telling me, yeah, no, Mancini's not making the team. But now, he's played 2 preseason games, he's scored himself 2 goals, he could have had a load more points, he got way better from Game 1 over to Game 2. Granted, the rosters were a lot different on the opposite side. Seattle iced almost their normal team. Calgary was playing a bunch of other prospects like Hunter Brustevich and others. But Victor Mancini has been one of the most effective players on the ice for the Vancouver Canucks. But the question is that enough? Is that enough to overtake the prospect profile of a Tom Willander, who has all this hype around him, whom folks said could be a top 4 defenseman, Charlie McAvoy light, maybe even an NHL pairing defenseman as soon as he graduates college, or not graduates, but signs to get out of college? Is it the right move to play Willander because he's got the hype and he's got the ceiling, or do you go with Mancini? Do you argue the contrary? You say, hey, wait a minute, if Willander doesn't make the team because he's younger, you'll toss him into the AHL, and Mancini does because he's older, he has more experience, he already played like a top-pairing AHL defenseman, and then he showed off well in the preseason, does that automatically make a guy like Tom Willander more expendable in a trade? You have Elias Pettersson, Derek Forbort, and that Pierre-Olivier Joseph still chilling in your system, so it's not like you have a necessity to have an extra guy, unless you were to just toss him down there in the AHL, right? I mean, I saw Ben Hutton make the Vancouver Canucks out of training camp after being an absolute underdog that nobody thought was going to be a significant contributor and actually make the team in his first year of eligibility. That was all the way back in like 2014, 2015. And I always thought to myself, you know, if Ben Hutton could do it, play college hockey with the Maine Black Bears, eventually sign a contract with Vancouver, and then make the team right away as a young, early 20-year-old guy and win the Canucks Defenseman of the Year award, if Ben Hutton could do it, anybody can. And I'm not saying here that Victor Mancini is going to have a career similar to Ben Hutton. Hopefully he has a little bit of a better career. Not that Hutton was like bad, but he was definitely not as great towards the end of his Canucks tenure. But Ben Hutton sealed the deal, making the Vancouver Canucks roster by carrying the puck up himself in a preseason game, I believe it was against Calgary, and just almost Bobby Orring throughout the entire team. That's when a lot of Canucks fans watching were like, oh, wait a minute, that's the guy. That's the guy that needs to be on this team. He's allowing himself to be on the team, and the team has to make choices. Who's getting off to open up that spot? I feel like Victor Mancini, he might be doing the same thing. And no shade to Tom Willander. Willander's been fine. I mean, he hasn't been the best. There were some kind of slower games from him, games where you would have wanted to see more out of what he brought. But especially yesterday against the Calgary Flames, Willander had a good game. I mean, he was creating offense, he was making plays, he was gliding across, he was doing things that I think we expect Willander to do. It's just in terms of the impact, on-ice difference-making, and who stands out more, I feel like Victor Mancini was that guy. Like, you can tell that he was kind of the Quinn Hughes of Abbotsford last season during the playoff run. You could get that vibe from him, especially with the way he feeds off of Baines and Carlson and Max Sasson. These guys all together, they have so much chemistry. And when that allows itself to actually show, oh, it's totally special. Totally special. And now we're seeing a lot of folks on social media, on Reddit and Twitter, Instagram, debating whether or not Mancini actually is a lock, quote-unquote, for the Vancouver Canucks 25-26 team. And with that said, what does that mean for Tom Willander? You got 3 right-handed defensemen already, in terms of Hronek, Myers, and then Mancini. Does that change the narrative as to where Willander's NHL projectability comes in? Do you wait until Willander inevitably takes over a Mancini? Or do you wait until Tyler Myers' deal is up and then you just get rid of him, you move everybody up a spot? Is that natural progression here, and is that what the Vancouver Canucks prefer to do? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you did not, then hey, the dislike button is there for you. I'd really appreciate it if you clicked that as well. Comment section helps out the algorithm, so anything is appreciated there too. Who do you think makes the team between Willander and Mancini? Who do you think has shown better so far? Do both of these guys make the team? There's only one of them? Who gets sent down? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Troll 99, and bye.